Hey guys, this is Candy. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time, we're happy to have you. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my box braids. If you guys follow me, you know that I'm a crochet braid kind of girl, but I figure I would do something different today, so we're doing box braids. And this hair that we're using is the Expression, yes, Expression Caniculon pre-stretched hair in the length 48 inches, and I love the fact that they already did the feathering for you, so you just get right to the business. Yes. So all right, the first tip that I want to show you, and this is a tips and tricks for getting the neatest braids ever. So the first tips that I have is that you want to make sure that your parts, you want to make sure that they're super straight, that they're super neat, that they're very precise, because that will make or break your hairstyle. If you want your hairstyle to look very neat and very pristine and very precise, you want to ensure that you take the time to make your braid parts, you know, as straight as possible. All right, so I'm just sectioning off the back area into 4 sections of hair, clipping that part out of the way so that we can start to install. And what I do is I overlap one piece of hair over the other, but the 2 pieces of hair are not the same size. One piece is like 2/3, and the smaller 1/3 portion, I actually use that as the 3rd leg of the hair. Now I'm separating her hair in 3 sections, and the middle part of the braiding hair, I use my index and thumb to grab the middle portion of her hair and just start the braiding process. It's a little bit difficult to explain and difficult to see, but if you would like, I can do a dedicated video showing you guys, you know, just exclusively how you start off box braids. Okay, so right away we are running right into tip number 2, and especially if your hair is natural or if the client's hair is natural, you do not want the hair to look very frizzy within the braid. So you want to ensure that you tuck the client's hair as neatly and tightly within the braid as possible. So what I'm doing is, when I'm braiding, I'm ensuring that the braiding hair actually covers the natural hair. So her natural hair would come on the underside of the braid. You would see her natural hair on the underside of the braid, but you will not see it at the top part, or you know, on the top side of the braiding hair. All right, so there we have it, braid number 1. Yes, and we're just continuing the process. And another tip is, you want to ensure that the braid is tight enough but not too tight, so that it is actually pulling on the hair follicles, because braiding in the hair shouldn't result in damaging your own natural hair, because then you would be defeating the entire purpose of wearing a protective style. So yes, it's going to be, you know, tight enough so it looks nice and neat, but it's not going to be pulling on the roots or on the follicles of the client's hair. And again, I'm not sure if you can see me trying to fold the braiding hair over her natural hair in order to disguise it, so you will not see, you know, her natural texture within the braid, as I was explaining or trying to explain earlier. All right. So tip number 3, you guys, you want to ensure that you properly condition or slick down the roots of the hair before you start to braid it, because that will, you know, result in a neater braid. You want to ensure that her hair texture blends, you know, nicely with the braiding hair, and so adding the jam or the gel will help to, you know, achieve that. So yes, I'm going ahead, as I explained before, separating her hair in 3 sections, and then the middle portion of the hair that I have, I'm just grabbing onto the middle portion of her hair with the thumb and the index finger and just start braiding. And this should explain a little bit of what I was trying to explain earlier, or this should pretty much give you a visual of what I was explaining earlier about, you know, trying to disguise her natural texture within the braid. And you can see, because her hair is dark and the braiding hair is a burgundy, so I'm pretty much just using the tuck method, trying to tuck her hair behind the braid. And you're pretty much just folding over the colored hair over the dark hair, if I can, you know, make it a little bit more understandable. So you're folding the braiding hair over the natural hair, and that will give you that, you know, nice, smooth, seamless braid texture. All right, so my 4th tip for a neat braid style is you want to braid the hair to the very end. Yeah, I know there's always the temptation to just stop braiding at a point, you know, just to save time, but trust me when I tell you that if you braid that hair to the very end, I feel like it has a nicer finish, and the hair at the ends will not have that dull frizzy look, you know, over time. It will stay nice and neat throughout the entire braiding the style, or the duration of the time that you wear the style. So yeah, make sure you go ahead and braid it all the way to the end. And tip number 5, and this is very helpful, you know, especially with natural textures. Once you get almost to the end of the natural hair, while you're braiding, you want to add a little bit of the same conditioning jam, and that helps to blend the natural hair with the braiding hair in a more seamless manner, and you know, makes, you know, the natural texture again not very visible within the braid. So that's what you want to go for, because if the natural hair is not neatly tucked away in the braid, you find that the client's hair might get frizzy, you know, earlier than necessary. We're not trying to do that. All right, so tip number 6, for the hair to look full, the positioning of each braid is very important. Now, if you can notice, I'm parting off a section of hair so that that braid will fall immediately in between the two braids below, and so that braid on top is actually filling the gap of the two braids beneath. And I also have a dedicated video explaining, you know, how to achieve full braid styles, to make your braid styles look full. And so I always employ or always apply that same principle with all my braid styles. And so that's what you see me doing here for this particular tip. Yeah, tip number 6. So as you can see, this braid is falling smack in between the two braids that are below. So that gives the hair that nice full look and doesn't cause it to look sparse. You don't want your braids to look scanty or sparse, or you don't want to be showing too much scalp. That's not a good look. And if you guys notice, I'm using 2 different highlight colors. Also, you have to pay attention to the positioning of the highlight colors. If you just randomly place them wherever you feel like placing them, they probably won't come out or will not result in the hair looking, you know, like you put some thought in it. You want the hair to look like you actually put thought into the positioning of the colored hair, the highlighted portion of the style. And so yeah, you have to pay attention to that, and you don't want to put too much of one color in one section and, you know, not enough of the color in another section. There's some rhyme and reasoning to the positioning of the colored hair. So yeah. That wasn't really an official tip. I was just pointing that out though, because I noticed that I never mentioned anything about the colors. All right, you guys, so we are pretty much done with the braiding process, but we have some other little important steps that we need to take. So far I have shared with you, I think, 6 tips, but there are some other tips coming, because yeah, the hair has to look laid and it has to feel comfortable on the client's head. And there are some important things that I would like to show you in order to achieve that, of course. All right, so I believe tip number 7. If it's not 7, then it's 8, but yeah. The next tip is that you have to ensure that you hot water the braiding hair. After the hair is braided, it has a certain stiffness to the hair that you want to get rid of. You want the hair to become more relaxed, more movable, more pliable, softer, and the hot water also helps to smooth away any frizzes that would result from the braiding process. So definitely boil some water and be very careful when applying this hot water to the braiding hair, because you do not want any accidents. I'm sure you can see the steam. Yeah, so of course you want to go ahead, and tip number 8 is to ensure that you condition. You want your clients' natural hair to be healthy. So I'm using One True Natural. This is my own brand. I'm using our nourishing oil blend, and I will leave the shop link to that oil blend in the description bar. So I'm just applying that to her scalp to keep it nice and healthy. And of course, in order to just smooth down those braids and to give it a nice sheen, I'm adding the Cream of Nature mousse, which is my favorite. Has an amazing smell, and this will just seal the deal and take the style to another level. And of course, yeah, here we have it, you guys, the finished look. Of course, we have to give you the outdoor daylight version of the style, so you can see the true color and the just the true texture and everything up close and personal, of course. And this is how it looks, you guys. Yes, very convenient, very low maintenance, easy to wear, versatile. Box braids is just an all-time favorite, especially for the summer or for holidays or for vacations. This style is the truth. So you guys, I want to just thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Thank you guys for sticking and stay. Remember to like, rate, subscribe, share, and comment, and let me know what you think about the style. What is your favorite protective style? And yeah, thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Remember to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I post. Peace, love, and be safe.